If you guys want to win a copy of the Ultimate Edition of FIFA 19 worth around $100, all you need to do is leave a like on the video, leave a comment down below and subscribe to my channel. Do those three things, that'll enter you into the giveaway and I'll be sending a copy to one of you guys when the game's released. Hey guys, Uruguay here, and today I'm going to be reacting to my 2018 World Cup predictions. I did a video over a month ago, it was a week or two before the start of the World Cup, and I predicted every single group stage and then all of the knockout rounds and obviously the final as well. So we've got probably some pretty big upsets coming up in here, but I think I may have predicted quite a few of the groups and maybe some of the knockout games as well. I'm not 100% sure, I haven't gone back and looked at any of this since I first did the video, which was, as I said, around a month ago, so it's going to be quite interesting to see. Let me know down below in the comment section, who did you actually predict would win the World Cup? And obviously we saw that France won it in the end, and I don't think I picked France as my winners. We will have to see in just a moment, but I hope you guys do enjoy. Leave a like, subscribe if you're new around here, and without further ado, let's go on into it. So here's the video. It's over a month old, as I said, but it's got over 12,000 views, so thanks for all the support on this video. It did really well. But as you guys can see, or you may be able to see in the bottom right corner, it's got quite a few dislikes because a lot of you guys evidently didn't agree with what I was saying. And I remember a few comments and a few predictions you guys were making, so it's going to be interesting comparing mine to what you said to see obviously what happened in the end. So we're just going to go through and find whereabouts I actually have all of my predictions for the group stages. And as you guys can see, we start off with Group A. Now this contained the hosts, Russia, along with Uruguay, Egypt and Saudi Arabia. And I said Uruguay would top the group, followed by Russia in second, and that is actually what happened. A lot of people were telling me that Egypt or even Saudi Arabia would clinch that second spot. Everyone seemed to think Uruguay would come first. But yeah, in the end, Russia actually came in first, which I mean, they were actually really good. It was surprising because I think they were one of the lowest ranked teams in the whole tournament, but they got to the quarterfinals and could have even got to the semis, losing on penalties to the eventual finalists, who were obviously Croatia. But yeah, we got that one right. That is the first one. Pretty pleased with that. Next up, we've got Group B, and this contained Spain and Portugal, obviously Portugal being the defending European champions, as well as Morocco and Iran. I said Spain would top the group, followed by Portugal, and again, that is actually what happened, so we've got another one right. A lot of people were telling me that maybe Morocco or Iran could get in instead of Portugal, and Iran actually ran Portugal very close. I believe they got 4 points and Portugal had 5, I think, and they had a chance right at the end of the game that could have put them through ahead of Portugal, which would have been crazy, but in the end we got that one right, so again I'm pretty pleased with that. Next up with Group C, we have got France, the eventual winners of the World Cup, along with Denmark, Peru and Australia. Now I predicted this one and I said that France would top the group, followed by Denmark, and again that is what happens. That is 3 in a row. Not bad, I'm very pleased with that. And a lot of you guys were telling me in the comments, I mean a lot of you, I think probably like half the dislikes are probably from this. Loads and loads of people were ganging up on me saying that Peru were a lot better than Denmark and would qualify ahead of them, but obviously that wasn't the case. Denmark came in second, and I believe they ended up losing to Croatia eventually in the round of 16 or the quarterfinals. I think it was the round of 16. Next up in Group D, this is the first one I haven't got completely right, although I did predict 2 teams to go through that did eventually go through. So Argentina I said would come in first, they came second, and Croatia I said would come in second, they came in first, with Iceland and Nigeria both getting knocked out. Now Argentina had a really lackluster tournament, and it was down mainly to their manager. His decisions, I mean, if you're an Argentine fan, it must be so frustrating to watch because there's the likes of Dybala, Higuain, Aguero, all of those great players, and they don't even get a game. They just get left on the bench, and people like, I believe there was Meza who was playing, there was Pavon. I mean, they're okay players, but they're not better than the likes of Dybala, and they were on the bench. I think Dybala scored more goals last season than he actually played minutes in the World Cup. He literally played like 20 minutes in the entire tournament, which is crazy, especially when they weren't really doing anything going forwards. They literally just had Messi, and he can't create everything for everyone, so it was just very bad to watch. Willy Caballero scored, well, he didn't score, but he led to probably one of the funniest goals of the tournament, where he just passed it completely, like a really easy pass. He passed it straight to, I'm not 100% sure who it was, maybe Perisic or someone, but Croatia ended up scoring from that. Which was very funny to watch. But anyway, I said they'd come first, Croatia would come second. In the end, it was the other way around. Next up, we've got Group E. Brazil, I said would come in first, which happened, and Switzerland, I said would come in second, and again, that is actually what happens. We got that one right with Costa Rica and Serbia both getting knocked out. So after 5 of these groups, we've got 4 of them completely 100% perfect, and then one of them the two teams the wrong way around, but they did go through. Next up, this is the first one where I've got one wrong, and that is Group F with Germany. I said they come in first. I think pretty much everyone would have predicted Germany to come in first. I mean, they were the defending champions heading into the tournament, but I believe they came bottom of their group. I think they did, but they definitely didn't go through. It was Sweden that came first in this group, so I did get Mexico in second, right? But no one would have really predicted Sweden to top the group. It was very, very surprising, and it was a great group to watch. I mean, the scenes at the end with Korea, South Korea actually beating Germany 2-0, that was a crazy game. One of the best I've actually watched in the tournament, just the thrills, really. It was just crazy to see. I mean, Germany had to win that game to go through, and at the end, Korea just countered against them and scored twice, as you guys will have seen if you watched the game. But next up, Group G, England's group. England had a very strange World Cup. They did really well getting to the semi-finals, but they didn't really play too many great teams, and no one really expected England to do well. Like, I think I'm not sure where I said they come. I think I said they would go out in the quarterfinals in my predictions there. They got to the semis, but it was crazy. They had a really, really favourable run to the final, and they could have beaten Croatia. It was quite a close game, although I do think Croatia deserved to win in the end, and they were deserving finalists, but it was crazy watching England play. But England came second in the group, followed by Belgium. That is what happened in my predictions and in real life, so that is another one. We got that one right, so pretty pleased about that. Panama and Tunisia both got knocked out, as pretty much everyone would have guessed, and in the end, coming second in that group was probably the more favourable option rather than actually coming first, because the run to the final was so much easier for England. In the end, both Belgium and England went out and played each other in the third place playoff, and Belgium won that, not Germany. Wrong flag, same colours, but they ended up winning that. I think it was 2-0 in the end. And then finally we've got Group H. Now this one, it was quite a weird group because all these teams were really evenly balanced on paper. I'm not sure why it's telling me I've got low disk space. None of that, please. There we go. I said that Colombia would top the group, and I think they did. I think they did. And then I said that Poland would come second. Now, Poland have a great team. They've got Lewandowski, they've got Glick, they've got like Szczesny, they've got, I've forgotten his name, Zielinski, I think. They've got quite a lot of decent players. Krakowiak's another one who comes to mind. But they were really bad. I think they actually came bottom in this group. And Senegal went out to Japan on fair play. It's the first time it's happened, but they had more yellow cards than Japan, so ended up not qualifying. Bit weird, but that's obviously how it works with the new rule. And it was Japan that came in second instead of Poland. Poland came bottom. So we didn't get that one right, although I did predict that Colombia would top the group. So overall, we got, I think, 4 of those groups completely perfect. We predicted them perfectly. I think actually 5. Yeah, we got 5 of those groups perfectly. And then I said the Mexico would come in second, and they did. And I said Colombia would top the group. So we only got 2 wrong in terms of teams going through. And then I obviously got Argentina and Croatia mixed up. As I said, one would top the group, and in the end it was the other way around. But there we go. Those are the group stages done. Let's head on now into these rounds. We can skip all the way through. Round of 16, I think this is. Yeah, round of 16. So we start off with Uruguay against Portugal. Now I said Portugal would win that, and in the end that is actually the draw that happened. They played each other, but Uruguay came out victors in that one, 2-1. I then said that Spain would beat Russia, and they didn't. Spain lost to Russia, and if I remember correctly, I think I said Spain would win the World Cup with these predictions, so that's a good one there. Russia ended up beating Spain. That was an amazing game. I probably watched like 95% of the games in this World Cup. It was crazy. Such a good World Cup, the best I've watched myself. I then said France would beat Croatia. Now, France didn't play Croatia because Croatia ended up coming first in their group, so France played Argentina and ended up beating them 4-3, which was a really good game to watch. And then Croatia ended up playing Denmark. As you guys can see, I said Argentina would beat Denmark. But yeah, Croatia ended up playing Denmark and they beat them. And then Argentina obviously lost to France. I then said Brazil would play Mexico, which they did, and they beat them. I think it was 2-0 in the end. I said Germany would play Switzerland, and obviously Germany didn't go through, and said it was Sweden playing Switzerland, and Sweden ended up winning that. Belgium didn't play Poland, they played Japan, and they actually went 2-0 down, but they ended up beating them and getting through that game. And then Colombia against England, I said England would win, and they did in fact win that game. So next up we're going to be heading on to the quarterfinals right now. So I said that France would play Portugal, and in the end France played Uruguay, who beat Portugal. I said France would win that game, they did, but obviously they were playing a different team, but France did end up getting through to the semis, which I predicted. I then said Spain would beat Argentina. Neither of these two teams were in here. I think this one was Russia against Croatia. Yeah, Russia against Croatia, two teams that no one really would have expected to get. I don't think they'd have expected them to get to the semi-finals, where obviously one of them would get to there, so it was a weird quarter-final. But in the end, we saw obviously Croatia beating Russia, so neither of the two teams that I said would be there were there. I then said that Brazil would beat Belgium, and in the end Belgium actually beat Brazil. De Bruyne scored a really good goal. I think it was 2-0 or 2-1 in the end. Courtois had a great game. That was one of the best games to watch in the tournament. Lukaku was also really good in that one. Lukaku, by the way, he had an amazing World Cup. So many players just had standout performances. Modric, he was great throughout the whole thing. England, Pickford, Maguire, Stones, Trippier, there were lots of good standout players for England. I then said that Germany would play England and England would lose. In the end, I think it was Sweden, obviously, who topped the group instead of Germany, who played England, and England ended up coming out on top in that game. So that was another one which was really weird, like a bit like the Croatia-Russia one. No one would have really predicted those two teams to get to the quarterfinals and play each other, because obviously that would have meant one would get to the semis, and no one really predicted England to get to the semis before the start of this World Cup. But anyway, that is that one done. Now let's head on into the semi-finals right here. And I said that France would lose to Brazil and that Spain would beat Germany. So this is where it gets a bit weird, because Brazil had already gone out to Belgium. France ended up playing Belgium and beating them. So France got through in this one. And then I said that Spain would beat Germany. In the end, neither of these two teams were here. This was where England were playing Croatia. So Germany would have beaten England in my prediction. So instead of Germany, we're going to say England. And then instead of Spain, we're going to say Croatia, because they both came through the same kind of routes. So in the end, I said Spain would beat Germany. And that is basically the same as saying Croatia would beat England, I think, if that makes sense. But yeah, like when it got to this stage, no one really knew what was happening, because you had two teams that no one would have expected to get this far with a chance of getting into the final. So it was crazy there. But in the end, obviously Croatia beat England, and as an England fan, it was really good seeing England get that far. Like, I wasn't that disappointed, because we'd done way better than anyone really expected. We'd surpassed all expectations. But in the end, this one got a little bit weird with my predictions here, because all but one of these teams, France, actually weren't in at this stage. And then the team I said would go out, France, actually weren't in the tournament anymore. Or no, the team I said would go out actually got through. So a bit confusing, but we're going to go on to the final. I said Brazil will play Spain, and in the end, Brazil went out in the quarterfinals to Brazil, or was it the semis? I'm not sure. And then Spain obviously weren't even in, because they went out to Russia ages ago. So in the end, the final was played between France and Croatia. It was a 4-2 win for France. It was a really good game to watch, and it wasn't what my prediction said. So I think we were good in terms of like predicting the group stages, and then getting into the round 16 and quarterfinals. I predicted a few of them right, but there were just so many massive upsets in this tournament. Spain going out obviously to Croatia, no, to Russia, which was really surprising. Russia actually getting that far and doing really well was surprising. Croatia getting to the final was surprising. England doing well was surprising. Germany going out in the groups. Loads of crazy stuff happened in the World Cup. But anyway, those were my predictions. That is my reaction to them. Let me know down below, did you actually predict that France would win the World Cup? I think France were probably amongst like my 3 favourites. I think I talked about it at the end of the video. Even though I didn't say France would get this far, I didn't say France would get to the final even, I still thought France were amongst the favourites. But I think I said Argentina were as well. I think it was between Spain, Brazil, Germany, France and Argentina were the teams I thought had the best chances. Argentina went out ages ago, Spain did as well, so did Germany. But yeah, in the end France won, and it was a good World Cup. Really, really good. A lot of people are saying it's the best World Cup ever, and it was a really entertaining one to watch. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like, subscribe if you're new around here. If you want to see more kind of football videos like this, where I talk about football and stuff rather than just basing on FIFA, let me know down below. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Take care.